Alright, now let me get this brought up. Make sure it's working. Brought up. Patron at MP. The screen for patron only. Oh, I can hear myself. That's funny.
Doesn't that usually result in echo, 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 echo?
I wondered what that Discord notification was, and then I realized it was us, technically.
Yes, I am making this a general audience preview tonight because I understand many people are what we would call upset spaghetti.
Why are they upset?
Politics.
Yeah.
So, where there is upset spaghetti, my goal in life is to give hope. Is to give hope baguette. So here's the hope baguette. They can be upset spaghetti. I have the hope baguette.
Wow.
I
And
counter Italy with
baguette.
France.
I'm going to eat that baguette with a proper maple balsamic and a blood orange olive oil, because it's a great pairing to go with any kind of baguette.
You speak as though you worked in the finest kitchens in the kingdoms of Britonia.
Well, no, I just traveled with elves, and they really like their food.
Many an elf cookbook has found its way into the possession of my family line.
Oh, excellent.
I am sorry to say that cooking at the university was very much for utility rather than flavour, especially that served to the student body.
Alright, so for those who weren't here, we ended off with our group fighting, well, I actually think I still have their tokens. Let me see if their tokens are back here. They are not. Oh, let me turn on the music.
Sure thing, we're vibing.
There we go. So, we ended last session with the group fighting a large-size undead pig that had been spear roasted before it was turned into a zombie, supported by animated cutlery and a animated apple, which it turned out to be the thing that they were dealing with was actually a lesser wraith. That upon casting a element of dispel, Mr. Wizard, the group then had to fight the wraith. I'm not sure if the wizard was happy about that or disquieted. But welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? I will give you guys a few minutes to update anything you need to update on your character sheets, as I understand that there was some XP.
But that does sound like a very tasty encounter.
Oh no.
Let's see here.
Excuse me, XP was had?
Yes,
For
for
backstories,
anyone who turned in a backstory.
Oh,
do
yeah,
I qualify for that?
I turned in a backstory forever ago, but I don't. I got a free
you-
skill out of it.
Did you turn in a backstory?
I
Forever
believe
ago.
so.
Like,
That was part
when
of,
we
like-
first started this, I linked you guys to a whole bio sheet and a whole backstory.
Yeah, if you turned one in, you got it. I just need to make sure you turned it in.
Yeah. Like, but it was long before ever the offer for experience points for backstory was even on the table. Like, it
Ah.
was,
Yeah,
it was a long time. It was when we were first even discussing what this was like. So
Yeah, it was when we were applying and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same
I
thing.
turned
for
one in
me.
as well.
Dude.
I mean, I could relink it to you if you would like. But
If
hold on.
that is doable, I'm not opposed, but I'm just going to assume you're all honest.
Takes 2 seconds. Hold on. Right. There's a really long one. Let's see. Where is the Thess folder? Because I have a whole folder for her. It's done as a bio sheet rather than a story, but it is like a really detailed history. It's 8 pages of history.
Good grief.
He
Wow. Okay.
might have gone
Oh, I love that.
slightly overboard.
Hi,
I mean,
hi, this bag of hugs
You
for
ask, I filled out a
$5.
bio sheet like we used to do
Hold
for every other
For the
campaign
Chaos
that I've
Gods.
ever played in with any degree of interest of playing a character for the long term. And that's trimmed down.
Say, I got
Yes.
everything onto 2 pages of A4, decently spaced between the 10 questions it gives you in the core book.
Okay, so the bio sheet I'm working from, the question sheet I'm working from, is a question sheet that was put together by my family for Call of Cthulhu games with all kinds of details that you just don't necessarily think of for a character. And it is the original sheet, just the question is like 10 or 12 pages. I trimmed it down. It's a lot.
Genuinely
I
impressed.
tossed in my backstory there.
Okay, I guess all that filled out. What did I do? Oh, right. Did I give him that? I did.
I have
Okay.
some of the finest hand-me-downs.
So you do. I made more.
Yes.
I started with basic equipment and a crippling student debt.
Hey,
It
hey,
sounds
hey,
like
hey,
a real
hey.
world. I thought we were supposed to getting away from the real world here.
I
Hold
thought,
on.
yeah, I
Yeah,
thought we were
yeah.
playing fantasy characters. Well, what's this? What's this crippling student debt?
I mean, the
Yes,
fantasy would be able to be able to pay it off.
Which
Oh.
I should be able to.
there is only
Because it is
there is only one
rolled.
thing more omnipresent than the threat of chaos: taxes and debt. Which is two
This is very-
things, but
this
don't
is
you
very
never you
true.
mind.
I feel like I've been
Let's just say my
threatened.
engineering tools were kind of expensive, so I need to pay that off pretty
I-
significantly.
I feel
I
like
assumed your houses of royals were voting to abolish and forgive student debt. Was that not the case?
I feel like I've been threatened, and I'm not sure how that makes me feel. Anyway.
Oh, so how much XP is it for the backstory, ma'am?
It was, I believe the answer to your question is 150 points.
Got it. 50 total.
And I did say that
1100
before the
spent.
end of last session when we were already off stream, but yes. If
I
Moon
remember-
wants to correct that amount, that's up to him.
I
Um,
remember it being 150, so all good.
I think that's I am sure that's the amount he told me.
I do
but
have it
if-
noted down, but I didn't spend it on anything. But that's okay.
Okay.
I am happy to wait on that. I don't need to.
If that is incorrect, Moon can correct me, but that is the amount that he said was roughly right. If he has different individual amounts for all of us, then he will have different individual amounts for all of us later. In the meantime, you're all standing outside the kitchen.
Oh, are we on the stream?
We are.
I see. Just making sure.
I have been letting the audience kind of filter in. We have been
Hi,
given
audience.
a $10 tip.
Hello.
We've been given a $10 tip, and I'm going to quote the tip here for the Chaos Gods. So I have some bad news for everyone.
Oh,
Heresy.
The GM now has 2 fate points.
yeah. Uh-oh.
I am sorry.
I like that
by the way,
list.
I haven't got the custom fate points drawn yet.
Oh,
Oh.
you good.
That was one question I was going to ask. We were told that fate points refreshed after every session. I'm assuming this counts as the same session since we just took a break.
No, it refreshes
Ah,
every
sweet.
single session, no matter what.
Sweet. They're
Fate
going back in the bowl
points
then.
refresh. It doesn't matter if we even stop in the middle of combat. If we stop, you get your points back.
Fully.
However, if you are intentionally trying to drag things out to refresh your fate points, we will penalize you for that in different ways. You'll get your fate points back, but you might discover that, oh look, you have a second penis.
This one's colored green.
That's unhealthy.
I would like to remind the audience that there are a maximum of 3 fate points to either side that you can award at any time. If we've hit the 3, you can tip as much as you want. I'm not giving you more. But in the meantime, the GMs have 2 and the players have 1.
Or none.
Yeah.
I
If you
live
s-
with none.
You spent fate points, please put them back in your bowls. Make sure you've got your dice and everything else. Since this is not a new adventure, I am not scattering coins around the board today. That is the thing that refreshes when you have a new adventure or are going to a new area. Or whenever the GM just decides, fuck it. In the meantime, I welcome everyone back.
Hi.
You're standing outside the kitchen. There is what appears to be a half-skewered, freshly rotisseried, full-size hog on the ground where the knight is standing. In addition to a fresh loaf of bread that's still steaming.
Well, if that isn't quite the windfall.
I am not entirely sure that I would be comfortable eating that, Sir Mage.
I don't trust it.
Because the page not found. Huh. Oh, I see
Oh.
why. Hold on, Pony Chick. I'll fix that.
I did also just spot someone in the chat asking to clarify what fate points were. Basically, they're rerolls.
They are rerolls for audience purposes. Now, for player purposes, your actual fate points can do more than rerolls. But
Yes.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, some fancy talents use them as points.
The ones awarded by the
We-
audience
Mechanics
are...
that we can use them for.
Sorry. Does that mean the ones awarded by the audience are not to use in the same way for on our side either?
What do you mean?
The audience can award fate points for both the DM and the players, and it's just a reroll in either case?
Correct. The audience fate points are just rerolls.
Got it.
And players
Makes
must
perfect
spend the audience points first. However, the GM can also use the points to do things like give a creature a round of regeneration.
Yeah. It gets fun. They can kind of like bend narrative a little bit with it.
Remember, chat, we're your friends. You want to see us succeed.
Remember, chat, punish them. Anyway, This is the start of a new session, which means we roll initiative for everyone. Initiative is agility plus a d10.
Let's get it.
Right then. First roll of the night.
If the die is not clearly visible, then re-roll it. That's an 8.
Let's see.
That
We
is-
roll in. 4.
That's a 4 plus my agility takes me to 52.
I
For
got a
the
50 flat.
for the third time in a row, that is a 29 minimum roll.
Oh, good.
Oh lord, the poor wizard. I swear, the poor
It's
wizard
just
needs to go train with the elves for like. No, wait, your agility is 33.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is. I've been looking at these starting this entire time.
Yes.
So 34. The wizard is more spry than he seems. He stretches and his arthritis wanes somewhat.
He
Nice to see a man who
stretches
sounds
and
like
his
Castanets.
arthritis wanes.
36 over here.
Were it that simple?
So I guess I'll just say it. I used 100 of my 150 XP to take a talent that lets me pray to the lady.
It lets you pray.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, what book is this in?
The same book as my class, Knights of the
Britannia.
Grail.
Knights of the Grail, okay. And it's on page 102.
Yeah, I have it written on my sheet. 102
Okay.
for the vow, and then 39 for the actual blessings I can pick. But I will, considering last session, pray for
Okay.
a stout heart.
I got news for you. And
Yes.
It's bad news.
Uh-oh.
That talent is not on page 102. It's mentioned on page 100 in your talents, but it doesn't tell me what it does there.
So it's actually, sorry, 107, but on the PDF, because of the cover, it's like 109.
Okay.
It's
well,
virtuous
yeah.
chivalry is the basic
Okay.
knight talent.
You may call upon the lady and gain her blessings as described in the gifts of the lady on page 39. Only Bretonian knights may take this talent, which is only useful for characters with fortune points. Alright, so you want me to go to page 39. You took Virtue of Chivalry. Alright, so page
Which
30.
just lets you, it gives you access to praying, basically.
Alright. Gifts of the Lady. A knight can only benefit from one gift at a time. The effect of the gift lasts until combat ends or until the knight runs away, whichever comes first. The knight runs, gathers courage, and return. The effects of the gift do not return. He has shamed his station and must pay the price. The gift effect lasts for 12 rounds, and the knight before going to combat, the knight must spend a full minute praying, aka 12 rounds, and then he spends a fortune point and chooses the blessing he wants. Sometimes the lady grants a different blessing. Okay, so the next combat. You've already spent a fate point for right now, so that brings you down to 2. It's not burned, it's just spent, so it comes back in next session. You choose a blessing. So what is your blessing you are choosing?
I'm going to choose Stout Heart so I don't flee and stop tanking
Alright,
for the party.
for the next combat, you have plus 20... until the end of next combat, you have a plus 20 resistance to all fear tests.
Yep.
Cool. Yes, my lovely, lovely mage, before we do introductions.
Simply commenting valid.
Alright, so, if everyone would take a moment, now that we've rolled initiative, and in an initiative order, so we're looking at our engineer, then our knight, then myself, then then the wretched lizard, and then the old wizard. What'd I call you? Oh yeah, uh, Skin and Bone. Please introduce yourselves. So let's, Oscar.
Ah, yes. Hello. Oscar Hertzsprung of the minor noble house Hertzsprung of Nuln, at your service and at your kins. I am currently on an ongoing journey on behalf of my college, and in a bid to find accommodation alongside these peers that I have found myself in the company of, we have found ourselves in a rather difficult situation. Fortunately, they are all quite stout-hearted, as I am far from a man of combat myself, but hopefully things should go well.
Okay. Andre.
I am Andre Morehire, noble knight of Carcassonne, and hailing from the lands of Bretonia. The lady is testing us greatly in this adventure, as the dead and those that creep in the shadows are coming to be in this strange and unusual house. Though, with faith and perseverance, we shall prevail.
Okay, Oscar, I have to make a request. Do not hit mute as it changes your avatar.
Ah, my apologies.
It's okay.
I was attempting to stop background noise while other people were talking. I do apologize.
We usually use push to talk if there's background noise. Alright, my turn. I am Lucia Bilik, Ice Witch of Kislev following an orc menace. I somehow ended up in a haunted house with these wretched fools. I don't know how I feel about them yet, but I'm starting to give them nicknames. In Kislev, we call this friendship. And Tess?
Hi, I'm Thesserau. Most people call me Thess. I don't know what I'm really doing here, except that this seemed like a good idea at the time, and these people seem interesting, and maybe not kind-hearted, but certainly less stabby-pokey than others I've encountered in this land. Oh yes, and I'm lizard folk. I have traveled far to be here. Hi.
Let me make sure my noise cancellation is on. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's on. Okay. And lastly, but certainly not least, Rodolin.
I am the old wanderer Rodolin. I have traveled far and long on many roads to find myself here. I have been thus far rather nondescript about my purpose and about some things my companions have begun to assume about myself. But nonetheless, I am very eager to see this endeavor through. And for all the strange circumstances and greater fears I had with this magical and quite suspicious house, I'm relishing the tale that's growing inside every step we take.
I have excellent news for you, Rodolin. So long as you do not burn a fate point, since you are an old person, you begin play with one extra fate point than is listed.
Oh, neat!
So you now have a total of 5. Congratulations to the advantages of being old. It is referred to in the book as the old age and treachery point. So long as this character has not yet burned a fate point or has been restored to their starting maximum fate points or higher, they start with 1 extra fate point at the start of every session.
May we all aspire to reach that point.
Alright, Oscar, you go first. What would you like to do?
Well, think, given the circumstances, there is some rather palatable food lying in front of us, but that does not entirely appeal to me. What should I do? What should I do? I think that I am going to step into the kitchen, just past good Sir Knight, and I think I am going to investigate the fire pit that the pig was previously cooking over to see if I can see any evidence that
Alright.
might help us. That might help.
Since you are doing an investigation of the room, you may during investigation mode you may move up to your run speed, which is twice your combat movement. Take an action. So, since you were doing the investigate, please make me a perception test. The difficulty is easy, which gives you a plus 20. So you need to roll under. I believe it's pretty high. You need to roll under. Good grief, what is that? 68. Yeah, perception is based on intelligence. Oh, you need to roll under a 70. Okay. $67 is under 70. Congratulations. Inside the room are a variety of cooking utensils. The stove is still burning with an extremely large fire. The smell of bacon fills your nostrils, as well as the smell of pepper and spices, indicating that someone here truly was trying to cook a succulent pork roast boar. You hear what appears to be a squeaking sound, and in a flash of reaction, you see a mouse running across the room. But because you noticed it before it started moving, and you remember your reason for being here is to deal with the rat problem, out of almost instinct, you draw your dagger, leap across the room, and stab the rat through, killing it instantly.
Oh, more cursed rodents.
However,
Why
it should be
do the rest
noted
of us hear
that
this?
while you have killed a cursed rodent, that body will grant you a silver shilling at the town hall.
Well, that's going into one of my unused pouches just for future compensation. And I just turn to the others and just go, I fear that the haunting is not the only issue here, my friends. The wider rodent problem of the town may have infiltrated this domain as well.
It is now that you also notice that unlike the other utensils that attacked you, which were rusty and old, the utensils in this room are new and are not moving. You sense nothing toward you or any sense of amity against your person from these utensils, giving you an indication that they are in fact not enchanted like the others and may just be normal kitchen utensils.
Good news, everyone. I think that what we've already dealt with is quite possibly the end of the hostile cutlery situation, at least for now.
I hope so. That was a kind of a difficult situation. They were pointy and sharp.
I quite agree. Very glad to be done with them.
Well, onwards and upwards.
All right,
Done.
Andre, what are you doing?
Well, I will be doing that prayer to the lady.
All right, so we've already spent the fate point. You're spending some time doing your prayer to the lady to
I'll
reinforce
go
your...
stand in front of the hearth and out of the door.
Okay. Let me see if I've got a fire of some sort to put there. Now that the pig's been moved. Here, cauldron. Good enough. You're going to go stand in front of the hearth and pray to the lady.
Yes.
All right. Lucia, I believe we should continue exploring if we intend to leave this place. And she's going to move over here, and I am going to she's going to open the door. With that in mind, Thess, it is your
what am I gonna do?
go. Let me look at the map and see how this room is shaped. I see.
All right, let's see here. A lot of doors, a lot of places opening. Let's see. And I'll let you fill in that that for.
So it's not a very large. It's not the largest of rooms, but it is nonetheless a room. All right, and I need.
Oh, what is my run speed? My run
Couch.
is 24.
2 chairs. I mean, they're supposed to be nice chairs, so I guess we're going to use the thrones.
Well, it seems like everyone's kind of splitting up to open their own doors and do their own things. So that seems to be how this party master works. I'm gonna go here and open the door. I've still got my shield and on one arm, so and sword in one hand.
Get this down to the appropriate size here, and then I need to get you down.
Need to finish filling that in.
Close enough. Alright, what else needs to go in here? Oh, there's a third chair. Facing from over here in this corner. And along with that, there needs to be a I don't have it available at the moment, but oh, there's Porky. I knew I didn't throw him away. I'm just dumb. Okay, so this chest is actually, I don't have it loaded. Got it. So if I got it back here. Can't believe I'm having to check back here for a thing. That'll do. That'll do lovely. This is a roaring fire. So Lucia has opened the door to what appears to be a well-lit, well-kept, I'm going to read the exact wording, sitting room. Armchairs are covered in dust. There's a couch covered in dusty old rags. In the middle of the east corner of the eastern wall is a large painting sitting above a mantel with a heavy gilt frame made of gold. The painting appears to show a distressing scene of a foully mutated beastman standing over the body of 2 slain warriors on a hilltop blackened with ash. The beastman has a goat's head and the legs of an ox and wields a great 2-handed sword. that's what's in the room. So, Thess, back to you.
I'm going to, like, everyone seems to be splitting up and opening their own doors and doing their own thing. So I'm going to run all the way over to where I moved to and crack open that door.
All
I
right.
still have my shield and sword in hand, so I'm ready for anything that might charge out at me since shooting things didn't work so well.
Toggle lock. Well, I have some good news for you. And some interesting news.
I found the pantry.
The pantry is where the knight ran away to earlier.
Oh,
The good news for you is that this appears to be a comfortably decorated but dirty room for a guest. There is a large two-person bed, along with sparse decorations. It should be noted that there is a full-size candle stand, along with a table that are inlaid with gold, worth quite a significant amount, although they are very heavy.
I mean, I'm pretty strong, but I'm also not really looking for treasure, so
That is fair. There's also another doorway to the south.
now this is a guest room. That's probably a closet or a boudoir. But I think that's my
Well, I
full set of
stand
actions.
corrected. This is a guest sitting room, not the guest
Ah.
bedroom.
Oh,
I read that incorrectly, but this is a guest sitting room.
perfect.
Kind of a little place for the guests to come hang out. There you go. Alright, Rodolin, what are you up to as the bear?
Rodolin, as everyone's beginning to disperse, Rodolin is going to say, well, let's not go entirely too far apart now. And just taking a vague look at the others, and is going to tag along behind Thess.
Alright. Rodolin, as you cross the threshold to the door into the sitting room, make a sense magic check. Not into the guest room. I'm talking as soon as you take a step onto this tile, make a sense magic check.
Thank you. So, ta-da. Let's see. Oh, 4.
That's a crit success.
That is a critical success.
Congratulations, sir. As you cross the threshold, you look to your right, past the ice witch, into the depths of the room, and you see the painting. And you are filled with an absolute sense of dread. You can physically, for a brief moment, see the tendrils of the realm of chaos emanating from the painting, and then you blink and it's gone.
His face is going to sour, and my face his otherwise consistent, cheery expression is going to sour and darken as he turns in that direction. Mind yourself, my young frosty friend. I said,
You can continue
Something.
on to Thess. It's needed
Actually, I'm going to
Go ahead.
I was going to, if possible, change direction after having seen that.
Okay, you can change direction too.
Then I will be going over. God, that was two. That was one step. So 2, 3, 4. Over to back up, Lucia.
Okay.
Saying, "Well, there, my young frosty friend. It seems something foul lurks in that room."
Having failed the sense magic test, she turns to you and goes, "What are you talking about? It's just an upset painting."
No. No, it is not.
Oh,
He's going to be staring at it long and hard and kind of gripping his staff. Be careful with it. I know not what it is, but I truly sense the work of something foul afoot. Flashes, foul things dancing about that image. He's just going to keep... Not entirely sure how movement works. If I must wait again to move, and to move at all.
you can move again. So
Okay.
long as you have not
Mostly-
moved during investigation, so long as you have not moved your run speed, you can continue moving.
My question is if I could say I wish to follow this person but not pass them, if I would have to wait until my next turn to do that, or if I would move up to my remaining movement when they
Okay.
move.
It's actually an action to declare following, and that means that if that person moves, you follow them. But understand that if that person moves into danger, you follow them into danger.
I see. In that case, I will simply step around my friend. 5, and squeeze just a little bit through. Oh. Don't fall over, Waddling. Don't fall over, old man. Please stand on thy feet. There we are.
He refuses.
His knees are not what they used to be.
Okay. Alright, so you step into the room. It is... The moment you cross the threshold, it is really unusually warm in this room. You went from about 17 Celsius / 65 Fahrenheit to 30 Celsius, almost 100 degrees. Instantly. It wasn't even like subtle. It was literally as if you crossed an invisible barrier of heat.
Hmm.
And you can't feel it on the other side of the door.
I see.
Staring at the painting, though, and knowing that something is present there means you are not surprised. You are horrified when this happens, but you are not surprised by it.
It's gonna explode in something awful, isn't it?
No. To everyone's horror, as if by some unknown force, the Beast Man steps out of the painting, leaving the two charred corpses behind. He is, for all intents and purposes, as real as you and I. As he steps from the painting and lets out a gut-wrenching howl. The same kind of howl that anyone who has ever faced one such creature knows to indicate their war cry.
I see. Well, that is a little more present and clear of a threat than I was already. I'm going to use the remainder of my let me check my spells.
Good news, he rolled a 1 for initiative. Bad news, that's still a 36.
Yeah. Okay. He is going. I'm going to gently pull out. He's going to reach into his robe, clasping a small little vial of. Clasping a small little vial filled with butter, he is going to stamp his staff on the ground and point at this thing. Enough, creature. Cease your wailing and howling. Drop thy weapon upon the floor. And attempt to command the drop spell.
All right. I need you to make a casting check first. I did hear the stick of butter, so I'm assuming you're using a component.
Yes.
Okay, how many dice are you going to throw?
I'm going to throw 1 dice.
Let me go find the Satan dice. They're called the Satan dice because, stream, that's their cup. All right, go for it. That will make it happen. I'm assuming it's a willpower test?
Yes.
Okay, what's the difficulty of the willpower test? 0?
Well, I don't believe it's 0 difficulty. I don't recall. Let me look.
It does not matter. A 91 is a failure. I am going to spend a GM fate point for a reroll. And throw an 81, which is 88, which is just as bad. Okay, so he does in fact drop the massive, jagged, curved, rusted two-handed sword he was holding to the ground. I was not expecting that, so I don't have a sword at the moment, and I'm not going to load one in. Here is his sword, just on the ground. Very nicely done. That brings us back around to the top of the order. Oscar, as you finish investigating...
A half action. That was only a half action. I'd like to use the other half of my action to step aside in the room, so clearing the doorway.
Okay. Oscar, you hear the howl of something foul and sinister that you've never heard before.
Oh, Verena's eyes, what was that?
Followed by the wizard chanting something that sounded amiss to a spell rhyme.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Hold on, good Sir Mage. We're coming! And I'm going to move my full distance of 5, which will get me just about here.
Okay. That does...
Can I see?
So, rules for line of sight are very simple. You line your character up, and if you can look from your character to the target, you can see the target. Opposing characters do not interfere with your sight.
Then, yes, looking in there, I can see it with its blade on the ground, and...
I need you... And this is because the wizard is older, so he doesn't have to make the test, but I do need you to make a willpower test against the beastman.
Yep, let's do it.
The willpower test is for not fear or terror, but intimidation.
That is a 70... Sorry, I've gotten those numbers wrong. That's a 47.
47, what is your willpower?
My willpower is 44.
That is a failure. Do you wish to spend do you wish to spend one of your chat point?
Over this fear,
It's not gonna make you run away. This is intimidation, not fear.
Yeah, this intimidation. I'm gonna let it stand then. I'll save the points for something more dire.
You take a -10 to all attack rolls against the beastman.
Oh, by Sigmar, what is that? How did it get in here?
It walked out of the painting.
Oh, that is even worse. Sir Knight! Sir Knight, you are needed!
What is your action?
I don't actually have any ranged attacks I can make. So I am going to...
Wait.
I can use my...
You're an engineer, and you have no ranged attacks.
I couldn't afford any ranged weapons.
Oh my god, he is going to be so happy when you guys get into the master bedroom.
We
I was
in the
not
trade
able-
business call that foreshadowing.
Yes, I was not able to purchase any ranged equipment.
Okay.
I have a sword. So I'm gonna use. I can use my action to move again, can't I?
Yes, you can use your action to move a second time, or you could use, yeah, you could use your action to move a second time because you did want to stop. If you did not want to stop, you could use a full run action, which would get you 4 times your movement. But anyway.
Okay, so despite being very intimidated by this thing, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to move the extra 5, and Oscar is going to use 4 of those steps just to move up onto this side of the doorway.
Okay.
Sword at the ready.
A reminder here, doorways do not take a movement point. That's why they're spaced that way, and you cannot put your character on them. You can't stand You can also move through friendly characters without any problem, so long as you're not standing in the same square when you finish. So if you wanted to move into the room, you could, or you can stand there, your choice.
I think, in all honesty, especially with the intimidation check, Oscar is not going to step all the way into the room right now. He is going to stick to that side of the door, and he's got his blade ready in case the creature tries to come out.
All right. Andre, Sir Knight, it is your turn. You have heard Oscar yelling for help, and you have heard the cry of a angry, angry beast, as well as what sounded like wizard rhyme.
Well, I have prayed for just such an occasion. I rise to my feet after my prayer, and you said run is 4 times?
If you are willing, if you're not going to stop and you're going to spend your action, you can run up to 6 times your total movement according to your sheet. So if everyone will look at their sheet, you'll see on movement on the second page, you have movement 4, disengage or full move is 8. What that means is you are electing to take a movement action and not take any actual action. Run means you're going to take a full movement action and not stop. So you can go up to 6 times if you do that, but at no point in that movement can you stop and do something else, even a free action. And then charge as a full round action has to be done in a straight line.
Yeah. Okay.
So for you, Sir Knight, because you have a shield, the advantage here is that you get a free parry with your shield, so even running, you would still get your parry.
Nice. So 6 times 4 is 24. So 24 squares, and we're gonna run straight for the Beast Man.
All right, run for the Beast Man.
1,
no fear involved.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Adjust my screen. 12, 13, 14. I'm actually going to interpose myself between him and his weapon.
Okay, so long as you're standing there, he cannot pick up his weapon.
Hi. This bag of hugs for $5.
This is...
Hold!
Just filling up both point pools. By the way, hello crowd. Remember to give Ponichik a pet when she
Consider
shows
me
up.
the paintbrush that's going to scrub you back into that foul, cursed artifact.
Okay, bronze, that will only fill... That'll fill the player pool and give the GM 1 point, so... It's not bad. You're just short. Anyway. Alright, so you have... I'm gonna do the smart thing here and lock this so that I'm not picking it up by accident. Alright, so that's your action.
Yep.
Alright, let me finish locking these floor tiles in place so I stop picking them up by accident. Alright, Lucia's action is going to be... so she's going to take... She's not going to take her movement action. Instead, she's going to take 2 basic actions. The first of which is ordering Mori to attack. Mori, get that horned creature out of my sight. The second action is going to follow the Wizard's example.
Get out of the way.
No. No.
No? Oh, my.
You cast a spell. She's going to
That's
cast
fair.
one too. She's going to follow the other wizard's example.
Fair enough.
In this case, let's see. She's going to cast a spell on Oscar. Oscar, are you willing?
Yes, Oscar is willing.
Okay, you see the Ice Witch's hands light up. Do I have the ingredient for this, or am I casting raw? I do not have the hoof of an ox. So
I got time for
2 dice.
350.
Here we
It'll
go.
finish up for the GM.
Oh no, I am re-rolling. Hi Zeech. Bye Zeech. Oh.
Not a very fella boy.
Oh, why?
Where did you roll?
I went from double 2s to double 1s, which means the spell fails.
Oh no.
Good news. Failed spells drop 1 level on the manifestation chart, and if everyone remembers, we're at double moons. So we go from major to
I see.
minor. So since the spell failed, it's not as bad. Let's hope. 62. What happens? Ghostly voices fill the air around Oscar and Lucia as she attempts to cast a spell and something happens. And suddenly both of you swear that you hear the voices of your dead grandparents.
Grandpa Peter? Frau Lucia, how is this helping?
I did not intend to do this. Finch has his eye upon us. I am sorry.
Okay, we're fine.
Guys,
We're
on
fine.
many things in this blasted house.
Okay, 34. Thess actually goes before Maury. So Thess, you're up.
Yay! There's shouts and screams and weird noises and voices and oh, it's just my adventuring buddies. Okay. I am going to take a basic move to here. And he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's outside of my range. Oh, what am I gonna do?
He's outside of your range?
For the pistol.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count 12.
I think pistol's range is 8. But let me
Oh.
double check that.
Pistol's short range is 8. Pistol's
Yeah.
long range is 16.
Just 16.
Long
What's the
range,
penalty for a long range shot?
10.
What's my weapon skill?
Your ballistic skill is 21.
I'd have to aim. Yeah, my chance of hitting is kind of slim. On the
You-
other hand,
You could use
Go
your
ahead.
solid slug blunderbuss and fire
it's
it.
not loaded.
Oh, you didn't reload.
I did not reload.
That's fair.
So the other option is for me to rush him, which would be taking an action to basically run up on him. I can't really do a charge attack from this angle, I don't think. So I have to kind of curve around the doorway to get to him. It's not a straight line. I've got my sword and shield in hand. I'll move up to him.
Oh, we're just gonna
That's
run.
That's a full run. I move up
Alright.
to him and I stop it ready.
Okay, so he is thoroughly engaged. Got it. All right,
Yes.
Rodolin, I have good news for you. you go before Mori, not only because you have a higher agility, but because he's an animal companion, he has to go after players if they're tied. So, Rodolin, you're up.
All right.
And then the Beastman goes.
Well, let's a quick glance at my spell list.
I'm very surprised Rodolin did not immediately buy like an arcane, another arcane lore.
Wait, was I able to?
Yes.
You made it. Okay. Curses. We'll settle that after session. He is going to. He is going to. Oh no. Why are things not like? Oh, there we go. Lag just a moment. He is going to move. Move over here just to get out of the way and a little bit closer, and then he's going to
hold.
Mhm.
I got news. You move next to the fireplace.
Ah.
I need you to make a toughness test to determine what happens. This can be positive or negative. So it's roll your toughness. Your toughness is 23. Oofda.
Something old man. Let's go.
Something old
Here
man
we go.
noises.
Something there. Let's see what we got. Well, I guess not, because that's an 18.
Upon succeeding, so we have exceptional success, failure, exceptional failure is the chart. On a regular success, upon moving next to the warmth of the fireplace, the PC feels invigorated, giving them a +10 to their agility for the next 2 hours. This includes increasing their initiative.
I will go ahead and do that.
So your initiative jumps by 10, and for the next 2 in-game hours, you feel awfully invigorated. On a exceptional success, you would have healed wounds. On a basic failure, you would suffer an agility penalty instead of a bonus. And on an exceptional failure, you would have been set on fire.
Fair enough. Understandable. And thus thoroughly invigorated, he is going to particularly sorry. He is going to be cast a spell. This time. Oh no, it's a. Actually, do I have enough movement? It's a half action. Yes. 1, 2.
You just moved. Where are you moving to?
Decided now that I'm more agile, he wants to run up and poke it with. No, but would it be possible for me to cast touch range spells via my quarterstaff? Or do I need? Is there and I don't imagine it's a difference in. I don't imagine it's a difference in reach, just a difference in flavor.
You are allowed to cast a touch range spell through a focus item such as a staff. It's just if you wanted to do that as an attack, so to speak, aka hit someone with the staff with the spell on the end of it, that is a half action plus the time to cast the spell.
In that case, he will not. I would not be able to do that. So instead, he's going to cast something else, slipping his hand off of his little bottle of butter. He's going to reach into a spot beside his belt and touch a dart, holding holding aloft his staff and pointing it to say, "Now, foul creature with fatal eye, it's time for you to fucking die!"
That is. Now you're gonna make me have to step up my game and add poetry to my spells.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do something.
Anyway, that's not the dice I roll for this.
You could just make ice puns.
I could legally make ice puns, yes.
Indeed. So he's going to put just one die to this and roll. That's a success. So, for the magical dart spell, as little wisps of wind curl about his staff, and blue light coalesces with a faint crackle before launching quietly at this, launching with a quiet shoop at this creature.
Okay.
And do I need to roll anything else to hit? Forget.
What's the spell?
Dart.
No, it's a magic missile. You just have to roll to
Magic
get the spell just has to go off.
Excellent.
So did the spell go off?
Yes, spell, and because it's a half action, I'm going to be casting it twice.
You took a move action.
Oh, right, never mind. My mistake. All right.
But
Okay.
good news for you. What's the casting number?
Casting number is 6,
Okay.
and I have a 9.
Do remember that for spells, every iterative of the spell that you cast, so for instance, if the casting number is 6 and you were to get a 12, you would get 2 darts instead of 1. So that is the advantage to throwing multiple dice and taking that risk. As you become a more powerful mage, your lower level spells become more potent.
I see. But in short, I could roll my other die and attempt to have a second one.
For future reference, yes.
Okay.
But you would have to declare rolling it at the same time. But for instance, with you right now, absolute maximum, if you threw everything into it, you could potentially get 4 darts. Anyway, so it hits automatically. Go ahead and roll damage.
Excellent. Plus 3. 5.
5, okay. So that is you rolled a 2 and got plus 3.
Yes.
You didn't. Okay. That bounced. He has 5 toughness. You strike him directly in the head with your dart, and he barely flinches, and it seems to leave no visible damage.
I see.
He has a 5 toughness. Party now knows his toughness rating. Alright, Maury is up next. How fast? I think Maury's speed is 4, like a person's. Yep, Maury is not as fast as a horse. Advantages to having a horse for a mount. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have the big bear just jump up on that. That did not work as intended. Oh, will you stay upright? I guess not. Okay. I'm gonna lock the couch. There we go. Maury jumps up on the couch. That's a move action to get up on the couch. So he is now in melee with the with the Beastman while standing on the couch. I can't promise the integrity of the couch for very long. Alright, seeing as the Beastman has 3 potential targets, that needs a D6. Let me see if I can find a D6. Nope. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to do the fancy die. Alright, whichever way the arrow points is the direction he attacks, assuming it doesn't point backwards. Straight ahead. Alright, Thess. That's to you.
What are they doing to me? No!
He is going to attempt to gore you with his horns.
Okay, well, I have a shield, and I've taken no defensive actions, and I have dodge blow.
He will hit.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, good. You can hear me. All right.
He will hit by a full degree of success on a 26, so you need to make me a... if you're going to try to dodge or parry, you're at a -10.
Okay. How does parrying work? It's a I get a free parry, so it's just weapon skill?
Yeah, it's a weapon skill test, but you have a shield, right?
Correct, and I'm using it, and
So you also get a +10 because it has defensive. Shields just give you a +10 to parry.
Sweet. I don't do normally as a player. I don't typically do sword and board, so. All right. Well, I will take my shield parry. I guess it is the most likely thing to get to help.
Okay.
Oh no! God damn it! That was hilarious.
I saw that.
That was fucking hilarious. That is a 20-something. Ah, no. Drop. I want the one that was cocked. That was that one. That is a 21, which is, for weapon skill, that's 2 degrees of success.
1, because you're at -10.
No, I'm +10 because I have a shield. So that's 0'd.
Okay.
41, it's 2 degrees of success.
So he brings his head down and is about to just slam headlong into your into your shoulder, and you go, shield, and you feel it. It hits with a reverberating clang, and your arm feels kind of numb from the hit, but it stopped it.
Yeah, that's fine. He's about to receive a lot of sword strikes.
Is your shield rimmed or unrimmed?
Given where my equipment came from, probably rimmed.
Okay.
It did not say in the description, so.
Okay, because an unrimmed shield would break.
Yeah, no, this a lot of my equipment either came from salvaged, like high-end salvage gear, or came from the elves, and so it is probably most likely rimmed.
Well, I have some further bad news. He has 2 attacks.
Okay, that's fine.
His weapon skill is 40. That is a critical failure.
Ah.
That is a 97. I am going to spend a GM
So
point.
he hit my shield, and I was ready for the second one.
I am spending a GM point. We're rethrowing that.
This man has been having abysmal luck so far.
That is a miss. That is a miss.
Okay.
His weapon skill is 40. He does, in fact, whiff it.
Okay.
I would be glad that you blocked. He has a strength bonus of 6.
So he's twice as strong as me.
He will hit like a freight train. All right, Oscar, you're up, honey.
Okay.
You have just seen this beastman without any reservation just slam into Thess's shield as hard as he can.
Just looking at the room here, I don't think there's an angle at which Oscar could join the melee. From what
there is. You could move through a friendly character and get to the squares next to the beastman on his flanks.
In that case, with his sword and shield in hand, most definitely hyperventilating at this point, Oscar is just going to close his eyes, take a few breaths. Okay. For Sigma and Verena! Go!
As Oscar runs forward, he hears his grandma's voice. Oh, dearie, go get him. You got this.
for the experienced combatants in the room, they probably know that charging towards someone while trying not to look at it is not the best idea, but that is in fact what Oscar is doing. Right, time to take a melee swing.
All right, so you get a, I believe it's a plus 10 or a plus 20. Let me check what the bonus is for charging.
I know I have a -10 from intimidation.
Yes, you are intimidated, and if I successfully cast the Ox Stance, you would not be intimidated anymore. But
Poor
that's-
Oscar, the dear nerd, is forced to box.
It's a plus 10 to charge.
So it's just a straight roll.
Straight roll. However, because you are in melee with 3 other combatants, it's plus 15. Unless you have the gang up talent, at which time it will be plus 30.
No, I do not. So that, let's see, that takes it to 30, 32, 42 I'm trying to roll under.
Mm-hmm. Did you threw? That is a 47. Do you wish to take a reroll?
Oh.
You have 2 crowd fate points.
You know what? Let's take one of the crowd fate points and see if their trust is justified.
All right, here we go. 42 or lower. Nat 100.
Fuck all.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Oscar,
Goodbye, Sigmar.
with your eyes closed, you charge past everyone, and then you try to get between the bear and Thess, and you trip over Thess's tail, but you don't fall.
Absolutely fair.
It's worse than that. You end up here with your sword embedded into the furniture, spearing it all the way through.
Oscar's eyes are still shut, and the combatants here. Did I get him?
No.
Unfortunately not, my eager friend. But do not worry too much.
If
We
by
have his attention.
If by the carpentry that you mean did you get it, yes. In fact, the carpenter will be insulted at your desecration.
Oh no. Oscar's eyes are going to open. He's just going to like look over his left-hand shoulder at the beast, and his face is just so pale right now.
You do not have your sword. It will require a strength check to remove it from the cabinet / banister.
Thank God I have a shield.
All right. That brings us to Andre, our lovely Bretonian knight. What are you doing?
I clang my sword against my shield to get his attention, goad him a bit, and I say, "Eyes over here, gaze upon me as I send you back to your foul masters." And I'm gonna go for swift attack and do 2 attacks. Throw it twice. Outnumbering how much modifies it? We're 3 people, so plus 15?
Yes.
Okay.
You have 3 other people helping, so you get plus 15. That's a 13.
Yep, that's a 13, so that will be a success.
That does in fact connect. I like how Oscar went from minor failure to totally botch it.
It's so in character for him. I'm not even mad.
Yes, we have not had a chance to have the horse drawn, so it still looks like a cartoon.
Is that? I think that's cocked.
Yeah, that's cocked. Let's see. What are you gonna get for damage? Ooh, 8 plus
Anyways.
strength.
It's also +1 because of the heirloom sword. So.
Oh.
Oh,
nice.
I also didn't. So it's 12 damage coming at him.
12 damage. All right. Where did you hit him? In the 13?
31.
In the 31. That is the right arm, and it actually matters because his head and legs don't have any armor.
Nice.
His arms, however, have 1 point, and he has a toughness of 5. It's a reminder that magic missiles do have 1 advantage. They ignore unenchanted armor. So that is 6, 12. You're going to do 6 wounds.
All right.
He's down to 8. As you just cleave into his left arm as hard as you can, you feel, or his right arm, you feel part of the sinew from it tear. He is not okay.
And like, while I whip the blade out of his arm, I'm gonna go for run through on the midsection. Roll again.
Okay. Everyone providing their bonuses to you, keeping the Beastman distracted, not knowing where the next blow's coming from. You hit him in the arm. He glares at you. Oscar rattles the sword to try to get it out. He turns his head to see the rattling.
And that should be a success as well.
Okay.
38 plus 15.
Knowing you were a
for
threat,
using my sword.
he's going to try to
So,
dodge
58.
blow.
Yep.
How many degrees
Go
of
for it.
success do you have?
1.
1, so he needs a 25. 43 is a no. He really needs to dodge this, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the last GM fate point. 57. Nope, he fails to dodge.
My strikes are inescapable.
An earring,
cocked or
my
no?
dear. What?
I think cocked, right?
No, yeah, that's even under the other die. So there you go.
Hi, hi, hi. This bag of hugs for $5 sold.
8 again, so 12
More
again.
player points, please.
12
to 25. 25 is the arm again.
You're just trying to hack that arm right off. He's down to 2
guess so.
wounds. Bronze has restored your player points back up, by the way, so you can thank him for that. You're back up to 3. He's
Much
down.
appreciated.
He's down to 3. He's down to 2 wounds. He's kind of staggering. All of you have contributed because the knight would have missed without your bonuses, and also Oscar's hilarity was actually kind of funny. In the meantime,
Good job, Oscar. All right.
we're gonna
That's it for me.
go all in. So it's Lucia's turn. She looks up frustrated. I have Zinch get off of me. Follow this magic bolt, and she's gonna throw a dart, or try to cast dart. She is going to use the spell component, aka a literal dart, and
Very amusing, that.
9, 10, 11, 12. That is enough for 2 darts. So 2 strength 3 hits. Both of them come up 9, which is going to do 4 wounds for the first one and 4 for the second. All right. Let's see if you kill him. Let's see if she kills him. It's going to be 2d100. So first one is a 70, and the second one is a 41. Alright, so 41 is the 5, and 70 is the 8. Critical body. Okay. Your attack damages the opponent's armor. Despite being a magical attack, it has managed to destroy the armor your opponent is wearing, reducing its armor by 1 unless a successful trade armor test is made. The armor cannot be restored, and if your opponent isn't wearing any armor, use result 2 instead. So his leather jerkin just breaks apart as the first bolt hits him. The second bolt comes up result 8. Snapped like a twig. Your opponent is knocked to the ground and cannot move. He may still attack from his prone position if in melee, but his spine has been snapped and pulverized like a twig. So there's this resounding and it is sickening to hear. The Beastman is knocked down. He's still alive, but he can no longer move his legs. So,
Rest in
Disability
peace.
representation. The bad guy needs a wheelchair.
the bad guy needs a wheelchair. Yes. All right. That brings us to Thess.
I swing. I have sword.
Okay. You get a +20 to hit against a prone opponent
Oh.
because you were in melee.
Do I also get the plus for them for being adjacent to other buddies?
Yes, all bonuses stack, so you have a +15 from your buddies.
So that's plus 35.
Okay.
That's a 70, 81.
So
And there
you-
are 2 of these.
Yep. So go ahead and swing.
That is a 70, which is a hit.
Good news. He can't dodge blow because he can't move his legs.
Okay, it's 1d10 plus strength bonus, right? Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to confirm that is a 9 plus 3, so that's 12 points.
Uh-huh.
And then the second roll. The second dice back. Do not escape me, dice. Roll. God damn it.
I heard it.
That's the second time that shit has happened, too. Kind of funny.
Throw the other way.
Yeah, so that my ammunition thing can actually steal it. That is a 25, which is like 6 degrees of success.
Okay, he can't dodge, so
5 and a
deal
bit.
damage.
Okay.
You need 5 points to deal a point.
Okay, so there's 9.
9, he takes 4 of that. I need a percentile roll for the critical hit. You are on the highest possible chart now because he's at -10.
Okay, that is a 27.
27. Oh boy. What you rolled a 25 to hit, that brings it to a 55. Okay. I am gonna go look at what that is. Lovely!
That's my 2 attacks.
You bring your sword down, he lifts his arm to try to block it, and not only do you cleave the arm off, but your sword is so quick as you do a roundabout to hit him again, that you punishingly push his own arm downward with your blade and impale him through the chest with his own hand. He is dead.
Ow.
I was trying to think of something like witty and one-liney to say, but I think even Thess is surprised at that.
With that, as he falls to the ground, his body begins to deteriorate into a wisp of gray smoke as his face lets out a long, mournful final howl as he dissolves entirely, as does his sword. There is nothing left of him.
The old ones say, be at peace.
Or any of his
Or
possessions.
Be dead.
However, everyone will notice the painting on the wall changes. The painting on the wall, let me go look it up real quick. The painting on the wall changes to what appears to be a very ornate looking butler ready to serve the house. His eyes seem to follow you across the room, but otherwise there is no other indication of any foulness to it whatsoever. He stands very tall, as he's taller than the door that is next to him in the painting now, which appears to be the very door to this room. Further, he appears to be dressed in what can only be described as the finest suit you've seen in a long time. A suit, however, that is several centuries out of date of fashion, complete with a large top hat and a glowing white towel draped around his arm, as if offering you a fresh way to dry off from the rain. There is no other indication what this man is.
Rodlin breathing a little bit heavy after the excitement. How interesting. Also, so you said several centuries out of date. Would we know what to roll, or I don't know if we'd have to roll for this, but would it look roughly correlative with the time frame that the letter was from, or would it be distinct?
It would look correlative to the time frame the letter is from, but there's another catch here. It would be clear by the way the suit is that it is a pre-gunpowder suit, because post-gunpowder suits would include a pistol pocket on the outside, and this one does not have that. At least suits of this finery. All right. Since it was Thess's turn last, that brings us to Rodolin. I'm sorry that I missed you and your new initiative. I will make the correction in my head immediately, but it is now your turn.
Okay. One strange encounter after another in this place. Perhaps we should not be spread so far apart this time.
I don't know. That worked out quite nicely this last time.
No, I agree with Rodlin. I think we should stick together.
By the way, upon the slaying of the Beastman, I am allowed to put this down now. A door materializes here.
Oh, well, isn't that fascinating? Also, I must warn my fellow compatriots. I find this whatever is behind this place, it does not appear to be random. Souls, they are even powerful. But I sensed the touch of chaos in that painting before. I do not know if it is, I do not yet know how it all correlates, of course. But be wary. And
Do not expect logic amongst chaos. Instead, let us be a bulwark against it.
All things may ultimately be solved with logic, no matter how arcane their origin.
There is always logic to chaos, just understanding it requires you to be insane.
Well, we're halfway there.
No, dear Oscar, you have merely hit the shoals of insanity. You're not even halfway there.
That does not make me feel better somehow.
Let's retrieve your
Sure.
blade, my compatriot, and I'll help you get your sword unwedged.
Rodolin, do you have any movement or action you want to take other than talking?
yes, I want to examine this fireplace, this magical...
The fireplace, upon closer examination, you can see what appears to be a symbol of Sigmar engraved into the bottom of the fireplace. However, the symbol has been perverted by what appears to be a chaotic carving of some sort.
Oh, yes, definitely chaos.
The carving forms a 8-pointed pentagram-like star with various unknown runic symbols around the edges. If you have forbidden lore, you may attempt to understand what it says. If not, you have no idea.
I see.
The exact forbidden lore is, I believe, just lore chaos.
I see. My friends, be wary of this fireplace. Passing by it filled me with strength, but I can see that there is far more sinister potential within it. I may want to investigate this again later. For now, he is going to, after having investigated this, was that like a half action or is that a full action?
That would be your investigation would be your action.
Okay. So,
Which you can also
No more.
determine that the magic in the fireplace persists.
gotcha. So he is going to. Do I still have movement?
You still have movement, yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's not actually going to go through, but he's going to just be. He'll open the door and then wait for the group.
Okay, as you open the door.
So let's call it. Oh, hold on just a sec.
Alright, so you have chosen to open the door. I shall fill you with none of the regrets, as you are a wizard and this room is most useful. Inside of this room appears to be some sort of storeroom. Which you see various articles of scrolls and magical study scattered across the room. There seems to be no order to the storage here, simply a chaotic throwing of whatever was useful at the time into the room. Everything from the head of the beastman you just fought, mounted on a trophy plaque, to random scrolls about a distant land called Arabia, to the mating practices of Ogre Volume 27. It is on the floor.
If we are to maintain this place, I'll need to be needing to do some cleaning in here.
There is nothing immediately that appears useful. It's all dusty and long since forgotten, and the room is unlit. It appears it would take hours, if not days, to comb the room for everything in it to figure out what is there. And yes, I said there is a book that's titled The Mating Practices of Ogres, Volume 27. That is even specified here in the adventure, which I'm just staring and going, where are the other 26, and why are there 27 volumes?
I'd recommend averting
likes
your eyes
them
from the
big.
pages with pictures.
It's obviously written by this world's equivalent of Steve Irwin.
Obviously.
Steve Irwin, and/or the man from Elder Scrolls who wrote The Lusty Argonian Maid.
Anyway.
Oh, those ogres are really going at it.
Yes,
Oh,
it is
no.
forbidden lore chaos that you would need to be able to read the symbol in the fireplace.
Gotcha.
Or secret science chaos, either one would do. In the meantime, we will pass the buck back to the top of the order. Oscar.
Okay, Oscar is doing his best to stop hyperventilating, with mixed success. But in order to get the sword out of the cabinet, now that he's not in the stress of combat and just feverishly trying to tug it out, he is going to reach into his engineer's bag and pull out his small hammer, and he's just going to smack the hammer into the wood beside the sword blade is to do a little more damage, yes, but also make the gap a bit looser and make it easier to pull the blade out.
Okay, takes one action. No roll needed. You get the sword out. Because we're not in combat, you don't have to make a strength check, and because you're using the hammer, you don't have to make a check at all, so it's just, yeah.
I am becoming increasingly uninured with this house.
Well, I mean, we've managed to survive this far, and there's no serious injuries. I think we can do that.
Quite. Well, while our fine wizardly friend goes through the little side cupboard back there, shall we pick another room in the hallway?
I was investigating what looks to be a guest sitting room.
Let's go there and have a proper look then.
Absolutely. Sounds like a... Hopefully it won't be as exciting as this room. Less
Oh,
exciting
no,
is
no
good, I
rooms like
think.
this room.
Afraid not.
I believe that you're just gaining valuable experience as a student, yes?
That is why my tutors said they selected me for the expedition north. I'm starting to think it was a cruel joke.
This is north to you?
I haven't, well, only technically geographically, but I've got a long way to go.
Blink, 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 blink. Blinks in,
Like
blinks in frozen hellscape.
It's like telling a Texan you think it's hot outside when it's 70 degrees.
No, it's like telling a Texan this is south.
Yeah.
All right, we go on to Andre, our knight. What are you up to?
I will wipe clean my blade and go back out to the main hall.
Should be noted, as you go to clean your blade, you notice that the blood of the beastman also evaporated into smoke and ash.
Ah, good. Wouldn't want it tainting my blade. And then, just a full move.
Okay.
That's double speed, right?
Yep.
6, 7, 8. Okay.
Oh no, if you're using your action to move, then you would go ahead and move another 8.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we'll go there.
All right. That's going to seem weird, but I'm actually going to take Rodalin's new initiative into account. Rodalin, you're up.
Well, so I'm looking through this. Well, seeing that most of the group has begun leaving, he's going to take a brief couple, like a 2 steps in here, and just get a vague sense that if he feels that there's, try to see if he feels that there's anything magic in the area. I don't know if magic sense can be used actively, but if it is passive, he's simply being there and hoping it might proc.
Magic sets can be used actively. However, upon close examination, anything magical in this room is so faint that it's barely detectable above the mundane.
I see.
The level of magic to you would indicate a wizard has been here for an extended period and gone, and that's it.
I see.
Nothing deep lasting or long lasting as far as enchantment is concerned.
In that case, he will simply having understood this, move on with marking this to be examined in closer detail later.
Okay.
And go back. So it's 1, 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and
You've already been exposed to the fireplace. You don't have to roll.
excellent. It's going to designate my action to. Don't know the limits on the follow action, so I'll just pick Tess and designate the rest of my action to follow Tess for now.
Okay. Lucia's going to move here and use her action to call Mori over and have him following her again. And that's her turn. Morty, come. She also takes a moment to hand Mori a leg of goat. Salted goat. and everyone just sees the bear kind of happily nomming the salted goat. In the meantime, back over to Thess.
Okay. I guess we're going back to investigate the sitting room. So let's see. That's let's see. A full run is. Oh, it's funny. I'm looking at other places for my character sheet. It's right here on the screen. I'm gonna print out a physical copy. Where's my run? My run is 24. Ooh. I guess I'm going into the sitting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. We're gonna go here. That's
Okay.
Half run. It's effectively a full run. And I'm going to, if I... Go ahead.
Nothing seems off about this room at all.
Okay.
You do still notice the candle stand and the gold inlaid table, clearly of dwarven make, but otherwise this room appears normal.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna head towards the door and probably stop right in front of it. I'm not gonna open it yet.
Okay.
And that's my turn. I'll wait for everyone else to catch up.
All right. That brings us from 36 to 52. Oscar, you're up.
Okay, let's do a nice full round of movement to get into the guest room that's being investigated at the moment, I think.
All right. The guest sitting room. There you go. Anything else?
Okay. You know, I'm right in thinking this room's already been investigated. My memory's just done a bit of a...
Yes. There is... It appears just to be a dusty old room designed for a guest to maybe retreat to and kind of sit in for a little bit. There's nothing terribly interesting except for a golden cake stand and a gold inlaid table that appeared to be of dwarven make.
Okay, good. I didn't forget anything then. Yeah, if I can, I'll just proceed through the next door that Thess is in front of then.
Okay, you open the door. And as the door opens, since you're the one opening the door, I will require something of you.
Oh boy.
I need you to make an intelligence test.
Oh good, this is something I'm actually good at, unlike fighting.
As you open the door to the guest bedroom.
And watch you fail it.
Oh yeah, I absolutely jinxed myself, but that's how you gotta do it.
Oops.
One degree of success.
Okay. So what you see as you open the door is what appears for a moment to be a walking skeleton. And it immediately tries to wrap its hands around your throat and begin to strangle you. However, upon telling yourself that skeletons can't walk through doors, and skeletons can't possibly be this fast, the illusion vanishes.
Nevertheless, the first thing that Tess hears is a "Ah!" Just an illusion. Just an illusion.
Did I see the illusion?
You also saw the illusion, but it was targeted at the person who opened the door, so the moment the person who opened the door disbelieved it, it stopped existing.
Well, this place is full of surprises.
Well, you just need to apply logic, you see, because if it's a skeleton, then it can't move through the door. And if it can move through the door, that means a ghost. But it looked like a skeleton, so therefore it cannot be either a skeleton or a ghost, because both of those things are logic thing inclusive. So it could not exist.
I've seen walking skeletons before.
Oh, I've seen walking skeletons. They just can't pass through doors, because that's what ghosts do, not skeletons.
Very wise, my
your-
friend.
Your logic is not entirely sound, but okay.
What about today has been logically sound?
As a side note, when you did open the door, at first, as soon as the skeleton's visage is gone, a candle flickers to life on its own.
Okay, enchanted candles. Yeah, that might as well happen today.
And now the room is extremely unusually brightly lit. Is that all your actions?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've used everything.
All right, Rodolin, you're up.
Alright. So, would I have moved at all with my follow action? Theoretically, or do I just do
Yes.
it myself?
You would have moved, staying exactly 2 squares away from Thess, and would have just witnessed the illusionary skeleton attack.
And he's going to take a hopefully free action and pat Oscar on the back.
Oscar
Not
jumps.
more.
Oscar
Breathe,
jumps.
no.
Not physically
Oscar
like
the
full
rabbit.
jump, but like a jump as in when something surprises you.
Like
Ooh.
a startle.
Yes.
Breathe, my young friend. Danger though there be about, you are in good company.
For that I am eternally grateful, Sir Mage.
Likewise, my young friend. Now let's see if there's any other secrets this room has to hold. And he is going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just start generally he's going to investigate the room.
Okay.
Any more illusions, surprises, or secrets?
I must roll a die first.
3. What does that mean?
Lucky you.
Oh.
As you enter the room, you feel what can only be described as the cold eyes of absolute hatred staring at you from the candle, but nothing happens. As you further investigate the room, you see a glint from under one of the bed pillows, and you lift it to discover a plain gold signet ring with an aquamarine as a setting. It is worth roughly 15 gold pieces. It does not appear to be magical in any form. It's just a very kind of a lower noble signet ring. Not something a peasant would necessarily possess, but not something anyone of significant rank would have.
He's going to pick it up, and he's going to try and see if he can date it like the other items that have been picked up so far.
On the inside of the ring, you see the date is roughly 10 years before the letter was written. And it's strange to you, but the date appears to have... The inscription of the date, which says, with integrity and honor, go forth. And then the rest of the inscription is scratched off. So there's the inscription, a huge amount scratched off, and the date. And that's it.
So, my dear Oscar, and knightly fellow, are you perhaps nearby, knightly fellow?
I'm here. What do you need?
I wonder if the two of you might be able to recognize more about this ring. I doubt it is of major significance, but we might be able to figure out a general idea who it belonged to if you can recognize the motto of their house.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you that would require you to have a book to look up ancient noble houses.
Okay, maybe not that.
As this signet ring, this signet hasn't been seen for many, many generations.
That's fair.
I do have books, but I don't think it'll be in an engineering or a science textbook.
All right. In that case, we're going to move to Thess.
Everyone rushed in. Like, oh, okay.
Well, you did point the
Well-
direction.
I did. Do I want to? Is there anything in there worth like poking around at?
Not
Armoire,
terribly. Everything seems kind of mundane and old.
Everything here is old, but mundane. Seem to be any danger. Okay.
I mean, if you want to go poking around, I'm not going to stop you. There might be something.
Well, there's always might be something. You know what? Why not?
All right.
Step into the room and look around.
Are you going to make a perception test, or are you actually going to search?
I'm going to actively search. I'm going to take my action and find my character sheet because I've turned around.
All right.
And search.
Because
I do not have.
because
I do not have.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I do not have the search skill per se, but
Okay, but because the room has already been perceived through, you do get a +10 because you know what already has been looked at. At half skill, that will put you at a total of 32.
okay.
Because search is intelligence based.
Yeah, I'm pretty smart.
So you need a 32 or less.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it doesn't hurt anything to make a roll. Nope.
Do you want
Not a fumble, though.
Do you want to use a reroll? Because you've got 3.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I was going to say, why not? I haven't used them yet today. Ah,
Oh.
27.
The reroll comes in handy. It comes in clutch.
Sometimes.
As you're searching the wardrobe, you pull apart the clothing and have to step back as something swiftly goes to the ground and with a heavy thong that reverberates through the room. You look down and there's a mace. And it's not like a crude mace or a simple one or anything. No, this is an elegant winged mace with what appears to be silver tips along the wing set and hard carvings of an unknown language to you across the handle. Rodolin, because you were standing in the room, make a sense magic test. This mace seems to have appeared out of thin air.
My skill is. So it's with my willpower, right? That's 50, 60. So I will think. You know what? How many fate points we got?
You have two audience fate points.
I would like to use one
Okay.
to reroll my magic sense.
Okay, go ahead. See, you find the Aquamarine and everyone thinks there's nothing left in the room.
That is
Oh.
a 16.
Okay, that is an exceptional success. You were able to turn your head towards this mace, and the moment you see it, you know 2 things. One, until the clothing was moved, the mace was sitting in a dimensional pocket. And therefore, no one could see it without specifically shifting the clothing to move it. 2, this mace is not only of exceptional craftsmanship, it is enchanted.
Well, isn't that a find? Magical mace right out of a box. Or clothing.
One moment. The enchantment, I need to go look up the type of magic.
I mean, I kind of just want the dimensional pocket.
The enchantment has a gray coloration to it. You, the player, must determine what that coloration would mean.
Yeah.
Or you could make a arcane lore check. see if you can to see if your character knows what gray is.
I'm fairly certain I know, but I'll also make an arcane lore check just to be safe.
Okay.
So let's see. It's arcane lore. 34, which I believe. Yes, that is at least. Yeah, it's
All right.
intelligence +6.
This mace is of the lore of Shadow. It has the ability to cloak itself, meaning that if the wielder wanted it to, the mace could become invisible, making it both undetectable by sight and touch, except to the wielder until it is swung at someone with intent. This makes it where a player, for instance, could go into a place that doesn't welcome weapons and still be armed.
What a thrifty little enchantment, he says.
Or if the player were to be arrested, obviously the guards couldn't find the mace on their person. I will go ahead and type that out here.
And I will, I mean, strange items. You don't just pick up strange items with your bare hands. So I'm going to drop a cloth over its handle and probably actually wrap it and then stow it in my backpack.
He's going to explain, as you call the by-the-by test.
Yes?
I believe that I'm quite certain that mace is magical. In fact, it has a rather peculiar special ability, I can tell. It is a mace it is a mace of concealment.
Ah,
It can conceal itself from outside perception.
okay.
Yeah.
I could see the usefulness of it. I was actually really impressed at the workmanship, and I think that the silver would be really good at killing vampires.
I can't disagree with you. It's a welcome find. You're rather lucky.
So the mace, I typed it out into our chat here. It's the Mace of the Invisible Hand. Craftsmanship gives a +5 to weapon skill when wielding this item. It has the qualities of silver, magic, and impact. Magic being that if the creature has to have a magical weapon damage, it's such as a full-size wraith or the lesser wraith before, where it could make itself where it couldn't be hurt by you, except on a roll. That just negates it outright. Further, the silver quality will allow it to affect creatures of an undead nature, specifically, giving it a +1 damage to those creatures. And the impact quality means every time it hits someone, you roll 2d10 and pick the higher result for damage.
Okay.
That is an incredible mace.
Otherwise, its damage is that of a hand weapon, meaning it's based solely on your strength. Once per day, you may make the mace invisible until you swing it with intent to cause harm to a person or object. Its invisibility includes touch, so you cannot see or touch it, although creatures with sensitive, keen senses will be able to smell the silver.
No.
All right. Moving on from Thess, we come back to the top of the order. Oscar, you're up.
Right. While the others were investigating the mace, I think everything that can profitably be seen in that room has been done. So I think I'm going to proceed back out into the main lobby. And let's have a look at these doors. let's just keep going. I will take this door on the left.
Okay, I'm about to give you a very, very welcome surprise. You open the door on the left and reveal to yourself that, in fact, these lead to the same room. This leads to 2 sets of stairs that form a kind of spiral stairway. One goes up to the right, one goes up to the left. They do circle around as you look overhead towards the banister and meet back up upstairs, but going opposite directions.
Okay, well, I'm going to call out to the rest of the group and just say, I've found the staircase, everybody. Do we want to proceed ever upwards or make sure we've got everything down here first?
I would say another pass or 2 down here, but not too much longer, I think.
We should ensure that there's no hostiles down here, so we have a clean line of exit. We wouldn't want to be sandwiched between 2 forces.
Well, both of these doors lead to the same place, and I can only see one in this foyer we haven't opened, so let's use the last of... I think... Do I have movement left for that? I'm doing the maths here.
Let's see. Let's look there. There's still a few. There's the pantries. There's a couple of doors off the kitchen still, is there not?
I believe so. Probably, however, it's just like closets and stuff.
Still good to make sure.
Yep, wouldn't want another pork hanging around.
Or knife, or the spatula.
Oh, so me next, actually, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, I valiantly walk forward to the door and open it.
Okay, I do have a notation for you guys here. So these 2 staircases do not allow for overlap. So if you go up the left one, you're going to come out the left side, and there's no way to get to the right side without going back down the stairs and around. It is a hard separation.
So... Got it.
1, 2, 3, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. Yep, just like that. One more. Come on. I'm just drawing the hallway. Where did you say you were going?
The last door that needs to be checked in the little courtyard area we were at, where all the different bedrooms and sitting rooms are at.
Oh, that door. Righto. This is room number 11. You open the door to see a small reading room. There is something wrong here. That much is immediately apparent. Oh, please don't do this, game. Don't go not responding on me, no. No, I've been a good girl. Damn it. Anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Although we have stopped responding.
Yeah. Okay, that is a hard lock. Okay. After rehost, it's okay.
F.
It happens.
Oh, it's alright.
Alright, what's this?
For the functionality we get out of the engine and for that it's free, that we have the occasional crash is like a small thing, really.
All right, which one?
Agreed.
All right, this appears to be the most recent one. All right,
I have to wait for the game to quit.
inside of this room, it appears to be a reading room. There are several letters of important notes scattered about, along with a score of leather books and an enamel suit of plate armor mounted against the eastern corner.
Oh. Ooh.
Happy night noises.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
load is
That
complete.
seems like bait to murder me, however. Like, it seems slightly, like, too good to be true.
Anyway, load is complete. You guys can rejoin.
Yeah, let me hop back in.
Connecting now.
Yeah.
Oh, mine! I did like a hard crash. I gotta close. I gotta close.
Yeah,
Yeah, mine did
everybody's
too.
probably had a hard crash.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, fair enough. Mine just decided to hard crash, like right now.
While you're all loading back in or getting things arranged, let's take a moment. Everybody stand up, go to the bathroom, and pee. We've been playing for 2 hours. That's a good chance to go use the bathroom. I'm really hoping we can push through and finish this adventure tonight, but that's going to require, I believe the term is, movement.
Or a little faster pace. Got that.
Got it.
Working on it. I move at the speed of initiative.
Yes.
Am I in the right?
That's why I asked about the stairs.
You're loading.
Oh, I loaded in, but I was at an empty table.
Yeah, it's still, you're at 45%.
Empty
Oh.
chairs and empty table.
Now you're at 70 and at like 700 ping as you load in. I can actually see it actively. That's kind of funny.
weird.
And you should be able to see most everything now. Should being the optimal word. Now I need the actual rocking chair here.
Oh, everything's loading in. Oh, I'm seeing the second floor. That looks like a big boss room.
No, that's a hall. That's the hallways.
Oh, okay.
I haven't put
I
the
was like-
doors in yet because I was.
I thought you were about to fill that in. I'm like, uh-oh. That looks like a boss room.
No, this is the hallways. I
Got it.
haven't had a chance to fill in the doors yet because we wanted to get you through the getting into the reading room apparently.
So yeah, I will go in cautiously and then investigate that nice suit of plate mail.
Okay. I love players who are very forthright in what they wish to do. As you enter the room,
Yes.
I am going to first off apologize.
Uh-huh.
The door slammed shut.
I see.
The plate mail starts moving.
Oh. Oh no.
He turns to the plate armor, turns to you. And in a perfect
Well, unfortunate.
Bretonian accent, quote, "Bearer of flesh, you dare desecrate these unholy walls. You shall pay with your skin. Come have at thee."
There is no further desecration to be had in these halls, only purification. And I mean, I get ready. I'll stand in the middle of the room and get ready.
Oh no, this is an actual enemy. I have to roll initiative and everything on him. So when your and his turn comes up, you two are fighting, and the door's locked.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm not sure if you're locked in here with him or he's locked in here with you.
We will
We
find out.
shall see.
He has
We will
17
find out.
wounds.
And he's plate armor, so
Yes,
Oh,
but
no.
he has initiative. He has a toughness of 0. It's entirely the
Okay.
armor. He has agility of 33. That puts him at a 36 initiative. And we'll see what happens when that comes up. Let me also go get a picture. For you guys. That
so
seems highly appropriate.
let me see from where I was at. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm standing at the door, that's just one regular move.
He also appears to be wielding what can be described as a two-handed warhammer.
Got it.
And that is the start of your turn. Anyway, Oscar, did you go or did I skip you? Oh no, you opened the door. Okay, so
I
that
was
moves.
before, yes.
Yes, that moves us to Rodolin. It's your turn. You hear the door. You hear the door slam. Yes, Andre. You were saying something?
Oh, I was gonna say, how I have a half action because that was just one half to move that far. How is feint in close combat, or can I like feint now?
You have
'Cause
to
I
be.
was looking
You
at
have to
one.
already be in close combat.
Gotcha. Then yeah, we will just stand in the middle of the room just to have the flourish.
All right, Rodolin,
I'm-
it is your turn. Is our wizard still AFK?
F.
Okay. Then while he is AFK, I will take the opportunity to go get some water and take my back.
Yep. I'll refresh my water as well.
That is not a bad idea. Also, everyone in chat, if you have an empty cup, go and refill it with hydration juice while we do that.
Or if you have true class, refill it with the finest Bretonnian wine.
Sorry about that. Roommate questions. Hello?
Valid.
Yeah, completely fair. Welcome back.
Rodolin,
Hello.
it is your turn.
Oh crap! Perfect timing.
So what you missed was the Bretonnian Knight went to the other room. It's a reading room. There's a couple of interesting books in there. He took one step inside, and the plate armor in the corner animated, and the door slammed closed.
Yeah, I heard the animated. I just had take a quick drink. So, hearing the door slam shut, Rodolin is going to 2, 3, 4, 6. Because you're gonna look. Something amiss over. Is something amiss over there? Or would I've heard the armor shouting?
You heard the door slam. That's it.
Okay, he's going to just kind of. There's something the matter? Is there something the matter,
Something's
my
locked
friend?
Andre in there. The door shut on its own. This isn't good.
Oh, that's not good.
The knight went into the room by himself. The door decided it didn't like him in there.
Well then, my dear Oscar, you don't happen to have any skill with locks?
I have some skill with mechanisms, but I feel that it is somewhat arcane. Although, alternatively, I do have this. And I'm going to indicate that one of the things that's in my engineer's kit is explicitly referred to by the term sledgehammer.
Huh.
Oscar pulls out of a box the head of a sledgehammer attached to a small stick only the size of a hand, then 3 more sections of a stick that screw together to form a full-size sledgehammer.
This is what my mentors like to refer to as a universal lockpick.
And you have some wise mentors. Between you and Fest's new mace, I hope we get in there quickly. He says, kind of using the remainder of his action to hustle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It should be noted, the sledgehammer has the slow quality. But it is also a great weapon and therefore has the impact quality.
Completely fair.
So it's easier to dodge or parry, and cannot be used to dodge or to parry with. However, it gets 2d10 for damage, and you pick the better one. Anyway, Lucia is going to move over to the stairs. Mori follows her, as unnerving as it is for Oscar to be this close to Giant Bear. She looks at Oscar. Go break open door. I'll guard staircase. Go, go. And that brings us to Thess.
Okay. Well, what? 6. Everyone's crowding around that door, and it is closed. I'm gonna brace my shield in front of me, and I'm gonna charge the door.
You're going to charge the door with your shield.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a straight line. It's a straight shot. I'll get a little bit of extra velocity for damage. And I'm basically throwing my entire weight behind this. I'm using myself as a battering ram.
Strength check.
Yo!
Since you are using the shield, you do not suffer a penalty, but since it is not designed for this, you don't get a bonus.
Ain't nothing designed for this. Where's my strength stat? 35. Okay, well, here we go.
You're not the strongest lizard. You're not the strongest Saurus, but
No, I'm not. In fact, I'm not actually the Saurus, but that's the thing that hasn't come up yet. I will take a reroll because I think I still have one more point.
all right, we are down to 0 chat rerolls. That is the last one.
That was a cocked fucking die.
That's cocked. You can rethrow it. You can rethrow the big die, not the little one.
Yeah, I know. No, that didn't even roll.
Try again. Come on, use physics. There we go.
Fly and be free. That's a 0 fucking 0.
That is a nat 100.
I bounce off the door. This is bad.
Thes charges forward full force. And as she gets to the door, it pops open and lets her through and then slams shut again. There is the sound of hideous laughter echoing through echoing through the mansion as she charges all the way past the knight, slams into the rocking chair and demolishes it.
And probably stunts myself thoroughly on the wall.
You're surprised you're here. You didn't expect to get this far.
I have no idea how the fuck I got this far. Yeah.
I see.
There's a moment of just stunned kind of. Whoops. My round. That's my plan.
Ah,
All right. The
I
animated
would have settled for a fair fight, however.
the animated
This will
armor
do.
did in fact challenge the knight to a fight. Looks at the strange lizard person blitzing past him. Isn't sure if he should swing or not. Just goes, okay, that happened. He turns back to the Bretonian. Is that one with you?
Ah, yes, that's one of my compatriots.
Okay. That.
Is this a fair fight?
Shall we begin?
You managed to non-plus a ghost. I love that.
Shall we begin,
very much.
or do you have another second you want to nominate to go before you?
No. This duel shall be fair. It appears that way. Oh yeah, it's his turn. Duh.
He's taking his first swing, and I am throwing furniture.
I make the interval to realize that this is a duel and I should not interfere.
An 85 will not hit. But he has 2 attacks, so he's taking his second swing. I need you to parry a 20 against a 43.